So far in this chapter, we've taken a look at some really fun examples in regards to how we can add light to our photographs in order to enhance them. Well, there are going to be some other times when you'll be working on a photograph and you want to make a creative enhancement to the photograph, and it's going to be a little bit more like a correction because there's a problem with the overall lighting or the exposure. Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this and the next movie. Let's go ahead and select the file corwig_mexico.jpg. Double-click the file to open it up, press F to go to full screen view mode, and then spacebar, and then click and drag to reposition the photo. Now, I love this photograph because it was captured in mainland Mexico. I was hiking along the beach, and I came upon these rocks. I thought it was really fascinating. One of the things I'm noticing is that the exposure here is too dark, right? The background's perfect, but this is just too dark. Well, how could I fix it? Well, there are a couple of different techniques that you can use. When I show you the first technique, it won't work with this image, but it does work on some other images. Click in your background layer, copy it, Command-J on a Mac, Control-J on a PC, change the blend mode to screen. Now, this technique works really well when you have underexposed images. Now, it did definitely correct the exposure here, but the background, that doesn't look very good. Well, of course, I could mask in the correction. That might be a good option here. Yet I don't want to deal with masks. It's not that important to me. So I'm going to try the second technique. We'll go ahead and take our blend mode back to normal. Then we're going to navigate to Image, Adjustments, and choose Shadow and Highlights. Now, when I select this, it's going to be so amazing. It's going to correct this image in unreal ways. I'm going to click on Show More Options. Here we have our shadows, our highlights, and then some final adjustments. Well, how does this actually work? We'll modify one of the sliders, and it will teach you quickly that shadows is working to correct the shadows. And here you can see that I'm bringing more detail into those shadows. Tonal reach is how far out it reaches. Radius, again, it's about our transitions there. So we can find the spot where that looks pretty good. Highlights, what that's going to do is actually darken those highlights. Now, I can darken the sky a little bit. That would be kind of interesting. And then modify my sliders there. A little bit of mid-tone contrast, color correction as needed. Look at our before and then after. Wow, click OK to apply those adjustments. Now that was a really quick and easy way to correct this image. We can click on the eye icon to look at the before and after. And the nice thing about these type of adjustments is that we can continually modify them. Hey, maybe we said we went too far. Well, no big deal. We can always back it off. Or perhaps, let's say we want to mask out a particular area. We could create a mask and then paint the adjustment into a specific area. Yet with this particular image, I think it's just kind of nice. It brought a little bit more of this foreground out, and it still gave me nice texture and shape and tone. I like it. I want to pull this down just a bit more. I don't need it to be that bright. I just want a little bit more light in there. All right, I'm going to zoom in just to take a look at the shadows. I think the shadow detail there is nice. And that wraps up our look at how we can add some light to our photographs in a way that makes it a bit of a corrective enhancement.